You just spun out of your race, you're frustrated and thinking,
maybe I'll just stick to running 3 hours of practice.
don't do that. I'm going to teach you why and how you're spinning so you can identify what you did wrong and make corrections to get back in the race. I want to emphasize that you're not bad at sim racing, you're just at the beginning of your journey. The cheat code to getting faster is, well, there isn't one, but seat time is what you need, so grab a snack, lock in for this video, and then jump in your sim rig. The fundamentals of driving are often overlooked, and many people think, I've played racing games before, I know what I'm doing. Forget what you think you know, and let's start fresh. When you're cruising on the highway and coming up to your exit, do you stab your brake pedal to start slowing down? Of course not. We ease onto the pedal and the car is as happy as can be. It's stable, there's no intense weight transfer, and we continue on our day without even giving it a second thought. Obviously, the sim driving is a little different, but what isn't different is the weight transfer. Let's take a look at a Toyota GR86 driving at speed down the back straight of Sebring International. When I brake hard, the weight of the car is thrown forward and the nose dips down. This creates more front grip because the weight is at the front, while there is less rear grip because there is less weight over the rear axle. Inversely, when I get on the throttle hard, the weight is thrown backwards, making the car squat, creating more rear grip, and the nose lifts up, leaving us with less front grip. It's our job as drivers to balance this weight transfer as needed to extract the most performance out of the car and tires without exceeding the limit. Speaking of tires, those need to be balanced as well. Think of them as a balanced scale. On one side we have grip, and on the other we have braking and acceleration. These sides are our limits, and these tires can only ever be at 100% use. If we're asking the tires to give us 70% braking, they simply cannot also give us 50% of the grip that we want. This is where we get into understeer and oversteer. You're on the brakes hard and turning the wheel to make the corner, but it just won't turn. Our tire scale isn't balanced. We've asked for too much of the tires, and we understeered right off the track. Let's try braking earlier and lighter so we have a more balanced tire scale. Check it out, we made it work. Understeer can also happen when we're on throttle. Remember when I said the nose lifts up when we're on throttle? Here I'm getting back on throttle too hard and too early. The nose lifts up and I can't make the corner because I've taken all the grip away from my front tires. Let's try to be more patient on throttle and balance our scale. Easy peasy. Now that we've talked about understeer, let's talk about oversteer. Hands down, the coolest and most fun thing to do in a car, as long as you're doing it right. Using all the same principles we just talked about, oversteer can be induced by braking and throttle application as well. How many times has this happened to you? You brake for the corner and around she goes. You didn't have your weight balanced. You gave your front tires a bunch of grip and took it away from the rears. Let's be more gentle with your brake application, whether it's earlier and lighter or rolling into the brakes. Some corners we don't even need the brakes, and sometimes we still spin. Let's cut back over to our GR86 real quick. We're in the same place at VIR, but now watch what happens when I release the throttle abruptly. Did you see it? The nose of the car dips and the rear lifts. Even though we're not using the brakes, the weight still transfers. Now for the curveball, horsepower. If we're in a high horsepower car and get too aggressive with that yee-haw pedal, we can rip a sick burnout. Too much throttle can spin up those rear tires and knock our tire scale off balance, and before you know it, you're mid-corner hitting a sick drift and watching the guy that was behind you wave as he passes you and calls you a freebie. No matter the input, we need to balance our weight transfer and tire scale to keep the car stable. Pedals are not an on-off switch. They're like that cool dimmer switch in your grandma's house you always wanted to play with when you were a kid, but your mom kept telling you to leave it alone. Rolling onto and off of the pedals smoothens out our inputs and allows the weight of the car to transfer more slowly and doesn't create the abrupt forward and backward transfers that throws our car all around and spins us out or makes us push right off into the grass. Oh right, we have hands too. Let's talk about steering. Less is more. Just like on the highway, we would never quickly turn the wheel because we'd change lanes faster than we can blink. We want to be smooth with that input as well. Listen and feel for when we're using too much. If you keep turning the wheel and the car won't turn, the problem isn't the car, it's you. You're once again asking too much of the car and the tires, so let's dial it all back, brake earlier and lighter, and be more patient on throttle. If you're not quite sure if you're at the limit of the front tires, try this corner exit exercise. As you exit and approach the edge of the track, try turning the car towards the center of the track. If the car will drive to the center, you're under the limit. If the car stays on course and we hit that sweet spot at the edge of the track, you nailed it. Gently guide the car through entry and exit with smooth and light hands. Light hands? Like shine a light on them? No. Light hands means don't death grip the wheel. Especially if you have a lower Newton meter wheelbase, light hands allows us to feel the details we need so we can accurately apply steering. If you find yourself
Death gripping
the wheel, try releasing your grip between corners and shake them out down a long straight. The sooner you stop death gripping, the sooner you feel more detail and give the car a better steering input. These are just a few fundamentals, but these are the golden rules of basic driving technique that applies forever and for always. You don't need to push to be faster. Actually, I don't want you to push to be faster at all. I want you to push learning how what you tell the car to do makes it react. The more you drive with all of this in mind, the faster you'll see yourself improve and start to understand more vehicle dynamics, and that's not even the best part. Like I said, don't push to drive faster, push to learn, and you'll find yourself naturally turning faster laps, and all you were doing was driving without spinning. Now you've got the tools you need to start troubleshooting your own driving mistakes. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask down in the comments. Like I said, we all start at the beginning, and there's no shame in not knowing something or not being able to figure something out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it helps, and if it does, please come back and let me know in the comments. And thank you to my channel members for supporting me in my own racing journey, and if you'd like to support me as well, please consider becoming a member. This September, I'll be in Chicago as a special guest for the Sim Gaming Expo, and I'd love to meet you there in person. If you'd like to see me live, I stream Thursdays on Twitch, and I'd love to answer your questions over there too. All the links are down below, and if you want to see more sim racing content, make sure to subscribe and please hit that like button so we can help more drivers stay on track and start finishing more races. Thanks again, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.